Only Phil Richards. Thank you, Mr. Richards, for such an inspiring stories. All right. We're now on to the second speaker of this morning. This gentleman joined Manulife in 1991 as an insurance advisor. Since then, he has consistently progressed in his career, first as a unit head, then a branch head, and today as a regional head of Manulife, the Philippines, leading a team of over 1,000 insurance advisors. And last night, he helped us out by announcing the names of award recipients for the Philippines. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jojo Veloso.
Wow, I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good.
Good morning, Gama. Good morning, Bangkok. To the guys, sawadee krap. To the women, sawadee kra. I'd like to mention and give a round of applause to our interpreters who are, as the speakers are speaking, are translating into various languages. Suritap, let's give him a big hand. Congratulations. It reminds me that way back home, I have some agents whom we always tell, if you make 3 appointments a day, you will be successful. If you make 3 appointments a day, you will be successful. Some of them never get to do it. So maybe I need the services of an interpreter to translate it to them. All right. This morning, I would like you to raise your right hand first and tap the person on your right and say, "You're looking great today." All right. Now raise your left hand, tap the person on your left, and say, "Looks can be deceiving." Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. And every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. Whether you're a lion or a gazelle, when the sun comes up, you'd better be running. Now let's watch this footage of what really happens in Africa. Those lions were lucky. They didn't have to work. They experienced success before work. But that's not true for us. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. And many of us will say, "Oh, he's successful because he's lucky." But how do you spell luck? Luck is spelled Hardwork. Luck is spelled as hard work. And the harder you work, the luckier you become. It's a very important ingredient in our business to have hard work. But even more important is the why of your business. Now, this is a precursor of my introduction to the talk this morning, is to know your why, then have the power of a vision, and have the importance of focus. First is to know your why. In his book, Start With Your Why, Simon Sinek talks about why as the core of your existence. It's the reason why you do things. He then says that the how to do things, we learn that in university, we learn that in college. How to make a balance sheet, how to make a marketing plan, how to forecast your sales, and the what is our products and services. Our CEO continuously talks about this, and it's called the golden circle. The great billionaires of today, Steve Jobs of Apple, his why is to make a contribution to the world by developing tools for the mind that advance humankind. That's Steve Jobs of Apple. And Bill Gates of Microsoft says his why is to have a computer in every home. Jack Ma of Alibaba, his why is to make business easier to do everywhere. And what do these three billionaires have in common? They have a why that is bigger than themselves. A person who knows why, a person who knows how will always find a job. And a person who knows why will always be their boss. First is the power of a vision. I cannot overemphasize how important this is in our business. Many of you are familiar with the story of David and Goliath. I'm sure you've heard of that. But what a lot of you may not know is that David was able to slay the giant because of 3 incentives. He was given 3 incentives by the king of Israel, King Saul. King Saul said, whoever would slay the giant, number 1, will be given great wealth. First incentive. Number 2, whoever slays the giant will be exempted from paying taxes forever. How would you like that? Not paying taxes anymore, would you like that? And the third and the most exciting incentive, if he slay the giant, is that he gets to marry the princess. So there were 3 incentives: great wealth, exemption from taxes, and marrying the princess. And David, before he went to the giant, asked all the soldiers there what those incentives were. He asked it more than twice. And after that, it became his compelling reason to run into the battlefield and confront the giant, who was 3 times his size. What did he see? Did he see the giant? No. He saw great wealth, he saw exemption from taxes, and most of all, he saw the princess. The giant was merely an obstacle in his way. And David, as the story goes, was victorious with the power of God. He defeated the giant. And that is how important it is to have a vision. If you have a vision, this business is easy. Without a vision, this business becomes hard. The Goliaths seem too big for us. But once your goal or your vision is bigger than the obstacle, then your business will start to become successful. To uphold this, you need to have the importance of focus. There was a swimmer named Florence Chadwick, the first woman swimmer to swim across the English Channel both ways. In her first attempt to cross the channel, while she was swimming, a very thick fog descended upon the water, and her visibility was close to 0. She experienced the cold, and doubt and fear crept into her. When she was feeling that, there were even sharks swimming around. They had to be warded off by her escorts. Finally, when she couldn't stand it anymore, she decided to quit. She raised her hand and said, "Take me, I give up." So they pulled her up on the boat, and as the fog cleared, she was able to see her destination. The island where she was going to reach was so near, less than a mile. She felt so bad and said, "Had I seen that, had I known that, I wouldn't have given up." How many times has this happened to us when you were just one appointment away from the great sale? Or you were just one recruit away from building a great team? The only way to fail in this business is to quit. One more story about the importance of focus. I joined the triathlon swimming relay, and this was my experience. When all the swimmers got into the water, they were hitting each other, hitting their head and various parts of the body. It caused me to lose focus on my destination. I couldn't see a thing, and the buoy, the marker, I couldn't see it. What happened was that I grew tired, and I just conformed with the crowd, conforming with the crowd, just going where everybody else goes. And when you do that, Sometimes the crowd does not know where they're going. And a person who does not know where he's going, any road is the right road. Or a person who does not know where he's going will never get lost. Finally, when I surfaced, I saw the boy. And when I saw the boy, my pace quickened and my energy increased, and I was able to finish the race because I saw it in less than an hour. There are two benefits if you have the vision in front of you always. Number one, your passion increases. Number two, your energy level increases. Put the goal, the vision in front of you always, and that's where you get your fuel. How do we maintain this? We can do this by being aware of the 5 pitfalls of successful leaders. I adapted these principles mostly from John Maxwell's books. He's a great leadership guru. And these principles have been guiding me for our organization and our team. The first one is successful leaders have stopped working on themselves. The second one is successful leaders have stopped doing the basics. Third, successful leaders have stopped leading from the front. Fourth, successful leaders have stopped developing others. And 5, successful leaders have stopped thinking big. Let's go over each one of them. First, successful leaders have stopped working on themselves. By the way, when I was looking at this slide, it reminded me of a funny story wherein an obese person went to his doctor. And this person told the doctor that, "Doctor, I don't think I have a weight issue. I think I have a height issue. Based on my weight, I should be 7 feet tall." Another one was a guy who went to the doctor and the doctor told him, "I'm sorry, sir, you seem to have an enlarged liver." And the man said, "Does that mean I can have more room for more whiskey?" So anyway, the leaders stopped working on themselves. Why? Because they used their success as a license to never read another book, never attend another seminar, and stop learning. This is one of the pitfalls that successful leaders have. What is the remedy for this? The remedy is to continue growing by reading, by listening to audio materials, and by attending conventions such as these. If you go out in the lobby, you can see the book table of Gamma. Even if you close your eyes and point to any book there, that book is going to help you build your business to the next level. If you invest in reading 15 minutes a day, in 1 month, you can read 1 book. And statistics say that if you read a book a month for 2 years, that is equivalent to a master's degree. Or you can invest in the audio materials that Gamma has, especially on recruiting and retention, team building, building skills. Listen to that while you're sitting on traffic. Turn your downlink time into uplink time. Convert your car into a university on wheels instead of cursing the traffic or complaining or listening to mindless music or the bad news. Why don't you convert that time to earn? And lastly, I cannot overemphasize growing through attending seminars such as this, conventions such as these. These are great places to increase your knowledge in building your business. But one of the best advantages of being here in this kind of convention is an increase of belief. Belief that you can do it. Belief that no obstacle is big enough to stop you from getting your dream because others have done it already. Pitfall number 2, leaders stop doing the basics. Vince Lombardi, the famous coach of the Green Bay Packers in the United States, was known to turn around a losing team into a championship team. He had a savage devotion to the basics. He was famous for making the quote, "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing." Coach Lombardi had a set of 8 plays for his team, and even his opponents knew what was coming when they did those 8 plays. But they never could stop them. Why? Because of their execution. He was savage on the basics. J.W. Marriott says, "Serve hot food hot and cold food cold." What are the basics in your organizations? Do your people know how to make a phone call, how to handle an objection, how to make a presentation, how to close a sale? Focus on training your people on the basics. There is an old US Navy SEALs saying that the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. So we can learn from the Navy SEALs. John Maxwell said, "The more you prepare, the less you repair." So be brilliant in the basics. Pitfall number 3. Leaders stop leading from the front. The great generals of old, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Abraham Lincoln, were in touch with the people in their front lines. They were there where the action was. Therefore, they were not detached from their business of leading their armies to victories. Many of us leaders have led from behind or from our desks. Why? Because we are in our comfort zone. We are in our office, in our ivory tower, being dazed by data and numbed by numbers, and look out the window and wonder why production is so low. The remedy here is to go out to the front and be with your people instead of blaming the numbers. Go down and turn the people around, and the numbers will follow. Pitfall number 4. Leaders stop developing others. This was mentioned yesterday by Mr. Gary, the Pygmalion effect. Pygmalion was a sculptor who made a statue that was so beautiful that he fell in love with it. He fell in love with it, he was enamored by it, that it came to life. In the same way, we can look at our agents, our leaders, and treat a man as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he could be, and he will become what he should be. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, we are looking for the gem in all our people, the gem that is waiting to come out, the diamond in the rough. One of America's famous motivational speakers, Les Brown, when he was grade school, he was labeled as educable, mentally retarded by his peers. One day, a school teacher told him, "Les, I want you to do this." "Sir, I can't do it." He said, "Why?" "Because I'm educable, mentally retarded." And the school teacher told him, "Les, other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." What a great statement. It later turned him around, and later on in life, he became a state legislator. He became a motivational speaker, earning more than $20,000 an hour, giving motivational talks. It took a school teacher to see greatness in him. Now we can do the same. You can see greatness in your people. Pitfall number 5. Leaders stop thinking big. Why? Because of fear. Fear that if they make a bigger goal, they're afraid they can't reach it. Therefore, they deteriorate into mediocrity or just be content with staying average. Now, what is average? If this is the best and this is the worst, average is in between, meaning you're the worst of the best and the best of the worst. Would you like to be in that position? So, the remedy there is to go shopping. Now, ladies, this is not what you think. There's great shopping here in Bangkok, by the way. Go shopping, meaning to say, look for someone, look for an organization that's better than you are, that's bigger than you are. that grows faster than you are. I did this as a young leader and found out that it was an exercise in humility. There's always somebody bigger, somebody faster, and you need to learn from them. We did this together as a team. We set a goal in January of 2014, wherein we were still 415 in terms of manpower. Our goal was, let's make a big, hairy, and audacious goal. Let's have a manpower of 1,000 agents by March of 2015. So the goal was set in 2014, and the deadline was March on 2015. And they said, wow, that's impossible. That's too big a goal. We might not make it. But we agreed and said, hey, why don't we aim for the stars? And if we don't hit it, we might hit the moon, rather than aim at the moon and hit a rock. Did we achieve our goal in March of 2015? No, we did not. But because we did not lose focus on our vision, by July of 2015, we achieved our goal and reached 1,045 manpower. You did it, team. Thank you. Challenge yourself to the next level. Question yourself, are the best years of your life behind you, or are you excited about the future? You can even use that as a question to your recruits. Are the best years of your life behind you, or are you excited about the future? Your business will get better when you get better, as John Maxwell said. Personal growth should come before business growth. Business growth follows. And it was aptly put by Jim Rohn, wherein he said, you attract success by the person you become. What a great statement. You attract success by the person you become. Are you becoming that kind of person to handle success? Question yourself that. Before I close, I would like to share with you another story. And this is the story of my daughter. When she was about 10 years old, we played a game. That was a little late at night. We played a game. And this game was called Reversi, wherein you have the most number of colored chips. If you can make the most number of the colored chips, you win. I beat my daughter Crisan 4 times. And I told her, Crisan, I'm sleepy. Let's go to bed. We can play again another day. And she said, no, Dad. I said, why? Because it's not over until I win. I said, wow, where did you get that? So I said, let's play. I beat her the next 3 games. But on the 4th game, sleep got the better of me, and I lost. And she said, it's okay, Dad. Let's go to sleep. It's not over until you win. It's not over until you win. No guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. Keep focused on the goal, keep focused on the vision, and reach your destination. It's not over until you win. I'm always inspired by this ancient poem, more than 2 centuries old, by Thomas Paine. And it's titled, The Entrepreneur's Creed. I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any friend. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself and face the world boldly and say, this I have done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jojo Veloso. Glad to have added value to you today. Thank you.